Hi, welcome to another edition of JBS in Your Backyard. Since we aren't able to get out to the nature center, we thought we'd go ahead and do some activities for you to show you how you can find nature in your very own backyard. Today's activity isn't just for your children to do, but it's for you and your children or nieces and nephews, whoever you want to get involved. The name of the activity today is called Color Chips or Rainbow Chips. And the whole point is for you and whoever you want to take with you to get in your backyard, or maybe it's a walk down the street, wherever you can go where nature is, and find the different colors of the rainbow, working on your observation skills and the different colors that you can find. It's a fairly simple activity, and the things that you need, you most likely have around the house. So you can use one of the following for this particular activity. The first is you can just take construction paper and cut it into squares, and there you have it, a piece of construction paper with the different colors. You can use crayons. Most people have crayons at home, and so this would be the color that you would give a child or yourself to go look for. Another thing might be, if you have these, I don't know if you can find them anymore, but I have these old colored tiles that people used to make their countertops out of. They're great because they're sturdy, they're hard, and they last a really long time. If you don't have these, another great option is to go ahead and find the color squares for color samples at the paint store. Those work great because they have lots of different shades of colors, and so that's very helpful as well. That's all you need, real simple. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and take a pink paper here, and I'm also going to use one of our color chips here, kind of like a bluish grayish color, and we're going to go out and see what we can find in my yard. All right, come follow me. Oh my goodness, look at this. I didn't know this was here. On our patio chair, we have a cool snail. If you take a look, it's got great spirals. It's got a little bit of maroon color, brown, off-white. So if any of your students or yourself have those particular colors, this would be a great find. And who would have thought to look at a patio chair in your backyard? A lot of times when you are with students or children doing this, the worst thing would be for them to get a color chip and they would be able to not find anything. So sometimes you have to be able to say, hey, look, there's something over here, or I see this color over here. So you can go ahead and kind of direct them and guide them into the way that they should go. We're gonna go ahead and head on into our garden here. You might be noticing, oh my gosh, she has a ton of flowers over here. There's colors everywhere. There's white, there's pink, there's all kinds of things. Well, that's great, and those are definitely colors you're gonna wanna look for. However, it's the things in nature that aren't so spectacular. So even if you don't have flowers, I'm going to show you a couple examples of what to look for and what will be in your backyard. We're going to start out by heading out in their backyard, and we're going to look for this color right here. It is a blue grayish color, and you're thinking, well, goodness, where can we find that? It's not a normal color that you find in your backyard. Well, come follow me, and I'll show you exactly where you can find it. Many times when we're out in nature, we tend to look down. You know, have you ever caught yourself walking along a trail and you're looking down because you don't want to fall on anything? Many times we don't look around us, we don't look up. And so we're going to actually look around us over to this tree over here. Come right over here. How many times have you actually checked the bark out on your tree? Maybe this will be your first time. But looky here. This blue is pretty close. It's not going to be an exact match, but it's pretty close to what we have on the tree, which is lichen. Lichen is a combination of fungus and algae that grows on a tree. You've all seen it, I'm sure. And it produces an acidic substance, so eventually it will break down whatever it happens to be growing on. However, this is what we have right now. So we found this blue-gray color in our lichen, but if you look, we have this beautiful bright green. And then other parts of the tree, probably we have like a little off-white over here on the side. So here we have, in a tree alone, probably 3, 4, 5 colors alone just in the trunk of a tree. So these are the kinds of things that you're going to be looking for. It is an observational challenge as well. We're going to go on and look for a couple of other trees or colors right now. One thing I forgot is to look up. Remember, I talked about that. Well, if we look up, what do we have? We have blue sky, white clouds. Maybe you want to get out in the evening and do this activity. You're going to have different evening colors as morning colors in the sky. So check that out. So it's a great time to do colors in different parts of the day. We're going to come over here and look at another color. Actually, I don't have that color chip, but I want to show you the color anyway. It's right down here on the ground. So right here we have a yellow flower right here. This is a ranunculus or buttercup, but that doesn't really make a difference, just for those who want to know. So here we have yellow. Had to look down, it's pretty small, but this probably may be growing in your backyard. And there's another color that I wanted to point out here too, and it's right here. It is a tiny, tiny pink flower right there. So I grab the pink. This is a little bluet. It's very tiny, but it's still there. So right here, just on this grassy area, we have obviously green, different shades of green. We have the pink and we have the yellow. And so you'll find these, but you really have to look, and that is, of course, another reason why I want to do this activity. So we're going to head back up to the porch, and I want to show you a couple extensions that you can do with yourself or your students. So let's head back on up to the patio. If you don't want to do colors, you probably just heard the bird in the background. You can also see how many different sounds you can find in your backyard as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what else you can do with this activity beyond just going out and just looking for colors, because it can last as long as you want or as short as you want. So if you're going to make this, again, depending on the age of a student, one thing you might want to do is, in the beginning, carry a clipboard with you. So you hand your child or whoever your color, and then as they're going along, they kind of write little tick marks of how many they found of maybe the blue color. They come back, they get red. How many things can they find that are red? So now, not only are they using observation skills, they're actually charting data and recording data. So you can get into a whole conversation about what data is, why do we want to chart it, why do we want to record it. When they're finished, I did one a little earlier, it may look something like this. So we have our graph here. This happens to be a bar graph. You can make any kind of graph you want. This is a bar graph. You can do a line graph. If you have 2 students or 2 children, maybe you have them do a line graph and it's a double line graph, and they can see the differences. You can do comparisons and contrasts with that. If it's a younger student, I bet any money some of you have Legos at home, and you probably have red, blue, green, and yellow Legos. They can stack the Legos if they can't, color. It's an exercise in counting for them, perhaps. So this is just another way that you can do math, talk about graphs, and kind of extend it a little bit. Another thing that you can do, which I think is a lot of fun, is actually take samples of the different things that you find. Now, I wouldn't allow them to do this while they are observing, because it'll be a big distraction for them. They're going to want to pick more things. You all know how that goes, rather than counting. Now, make sure that you know what you want picked, because on my example here, I have yellow down here in the corner, and I went into my garden, and part of my yellow that it came up with for the graph that I did earlier was my yellow tomato flowers on my plants. Well, of course, I didn't want to pick those, so I left those there so they're not on here. So all of these items were things that I had found earlier. They were on the graph, and as you can see, it kind of pops a little bit. We have pink in the corner, yellow, purple, red, and all of these items, except for maybe the berries, are able to be pressed and be pressed flowers. So perhaps you take this collage, you take the whole paper and you press it, or maybe you press it individually, however you want to do that. And then a couple weeks from now, you can take the pressed flowers and put them into contact paper, or if you have access to a laminating machine, you can take the whole, put them inside the laminating sheets and laminate, and that makes a really cool bookmark or something to put into a picture frame. So that's another extension. To go even further into another lesson, if that's something of interest to you, you can get into the whole subject about rainbows, because now they've seen every color of the rainbow. They've collected colors of the rainbow. They've maybe done a graph of colors of the rainbow to see what is the most, what colors are there the most. So you can then get into the different colors and where we get our colors from, the rainbow. So it's a great extension for that as well. I hope that you see this rainbow chips or color chips activity is great. You can do it anywhere. Your backyard, maybe you're on vacation, you do it there. You're going to be finding many, many different colors and different things in a different area. So thank you for joining us for JBS in the Backyard. Thank you so much.